Hi, this is Deborah Christofferson. I play Sue Blevins on 911. You're listening to Fandom Family Chats.
Welcome back to Fandom Family Chats. I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Amanda.
And tonight we are talking about the season finales of 911 and 911 Lone Star. I almost said series. I'm like, no.
Not series finale. Please. Not yet.
I really liked both of these finales, honestly. I thought they were really good.
I thought they were really good. I thought, now, we'll go into my thoughts a little bit later. I had kind of a different opinion, I think, than anybody else. So I'm sure everybody's going to be very happy with me this week and disagree with me. But let's get into it.
I know for the whole 911 episode, I'm pretty sure I can speak for everyone. I was just on the end of my seat, like watching the whole thing. Like, oh
yeah. I mean, the OG 911 was great this week. We had a lot of drama. We had, near misses. We had hype ups. Like we had it all. I have no complaints with OG. I think all my complaints this week lie with Lone Star. And they're not really even complaints. I shouldn't phrase it that way. Just suggestions. I think suggestions sums it up. I also want to mention I love seeing Lucy again. Anytime I get to see Ariel, I love it in anything she does. But I'm glad we got to see her twice now. I'm like, yay, I'm glad she was at least in the finale. Maybe we'll see more of her next season.
I know, right? Like, I thought for sure the last episode was like, oh, there was a little closure for us. That was so nice of them.
Yeah.
Hey, we see her again. What?
And I like it was her that called into Grace, and it was so, I don't know, it was really nicely done. I very much enjoyed it. So this crash on this bridge, holy moly.
Yeah, that was insane.
Like why were they there for, the wreck with the two women. I was like, why were they there in the first place? So we had the two women, one was airlifted, one was in the ambulance with Chim. Thankfully both were okay, because I kind of started getting connected to these two ladies.
The younger woman looked so familiar. I don't know what I know her from, but I know I've seen her in a bunch of stuff.
Okay, she did to me too. So I think, but I couldn't place her anywhere. So I didn't even bother to look it up. I figured she's just been in random things that I've watched over the years.
She might just have one of those faces.
Or that. There's sometimes where I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this guy. Like, I gotta search who he is right now. And it's like, this is his first acting credit. And I'm going, are you sure?
Who do I love?
I'm like, okay, now I gotta figure out who he looks like. Next step. Because like on Queen Charlotte, George, perfect example. I swear I've seen him before. Like, he has such a familiar face to me. And it's like he's been in nothing. I'm like, really? He has to look like somebody. I just haven't been able to place it yet.
I thought for sure this was going to be the end for Bobby. I was just freaking out the whole episode.
I was too. Really, since 911 is moving networks, I was like, this is going to be the time where they're like, gonna kill one off. Or maybe one actor doesn't want to switch networks and they have to kill him off. Or I don't know. I was very nervous. I'm like, this is like the perfect storm right now. This is going to be a really touchy episode, which is probably why I didn't enjoy it as much as I should have. It's because I was a ball of anxiety the entire episode, just thinking the other shoe's going to drop. The other shoe's going to drop. Like, it's going to get worse. Somebody's going to die. I just kept until those ending credits came. I was like, okay, I'm safe. We're good. It's all okay. Did you?
Yeah. Chim was really I was like, I think I was the most scared about Chim out of all of them. Well, other than Bobby being missing. But then once Athena found him, I was,
oh, that was
Athena.
heartbreaking. And then the guy who like guided her to Bobby,
Mhm.
the guy that he rescued a few episodes ago, which was such a good little round circle of events. And
Like that.
that was really cute. And I like
I
that
didn't
little
recognize him.
touch. I didn't either. Not until they showed it later on. I was
And
like,
poor
oh,
Maddie having to
having
take
to.
this call and listen to everything, but she can't be on scene to see it.
I know that was really heartbreaking. And before we just pass up on Chim, are we gonna get another cake? Because when he got stabbed through the head with the pipe, with the rod, with the thing, we got a cake. So are we gonna get a cake for the rod sticking out of his stomach now?
That's true.
I'm just asking for a friend.
Poor Chim. He doesn't have very good luck.
No, I don't think he does. I felt so bad. I don't know who I felt worse for though, Maddie or Chim in this scenario, because she had no idea what was going on the entire time on the other side. But he was touch and go.
And Jennifer Love Hewitt, she can just cry like
Oh,
that.
she's amazing at
And
it.
every time I see her cry, I start crying. She's that good.
She is. I love. Well, she's an amazing actress. I mean, I think we all know that.
I just, I've always loved that about her. She can just make herself cry so easily, and
Mm-hmm.
she literally pulls the emotion out of you through her
Oh yeah,
acting.
yeah. You feel her feelings,
Hmm
but
I
again,
used to watch Ghost Whisperer.
see, I
I
never got
watched
into
it.
that.
I loved it.
I watched
I,
like
I
all
love
her
anything Jennifer
movies.
Love Hewitt in.
I mean, every other movie that she's been in, I've I've watched. What was my favorite one she did with Susan Sarandon? Heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker.
Was a heart. Oh my gosh, I wore that movie out when I was young.
Oh yeah.
Wore it out. I loved that movie, and I watched it again probably kind of right when she joined the cast of 911, because it just brought back those memories of Heartbreaker, and I was like, I got to go watch it. And I did. And you know what? Still as good. And sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes I'll watch and rewatch a movie, and I'm like, was this bad back then? Did they take things out?
Why did I love this so much?
Like, this is not good. And I've hyped this movie up for years. Now I'm a little embarrassed. I'm like, oh, I swear it used to be good. I don't know what happened. I guess
Yeah,
I grew
I
up
swear this is not the same movie that I grew up watching. They definitely replaced it with something
heavily
else.
edited. Heavily edited. Another one I watched recently, it's kind of in the same genre as Heartbreaker, is a Jawbreaker.
Mhm.
That was another good one that is very corny, but still very good today.
It is. Now that one I wore out a lot too. I love Jawbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
My mother hated that movie.
Well, you know what? As a mom, I rewatched it not very long ago, and I don't blame your mom because holy
Right?
moly, I was
Yeah. I'm like, why was I watching this at that age?
like 13, the movie 13 that apparently nobody ever remembers. Do you remember watching 13?
I do.
Okay, yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Like I rewatched that one a few years ago, and I was just going, uh really?
Who let me watch this?
And I mean, it's like really familiar. Who's the girl who's in it? And she's like big now. Um, Nikki Reed, Ian
Yes.
Somerhalder's wife.
Oh my God. How could we not think of her name?
Like, I know, I could see her face in my head, but I just couldn't spit her name out. And Evan Rachel Wood, like two like actually successful actresses that grew up. And it was just like, wow. Vanessa Hudgens, of course, Holly Hunter. We all know her. So many good people in that movie. All right, let's get back to 911 because we went all the way off to 13. All the numbers. We're staying in numbers, Maureen. Okay. 911, 13. Okay.
Luckily for Buck, Ravi was still at the top,
Go Robbie this week.
right?
I
He
was
kind of saved the day.
He really did, and I was very impressed with him. Like very quick, on his feet, like knew what to do. Like I was actually very impressed with Ravi this week.
I didn't realize that he did not go down with everyone else right away.
I
And I'm just
know.
like, how are they getting out of this? Like, there's no way. And then I just hear Ravi yell, I'm getting the ropes. Oh my God, Ravi,
Oh my gosh,
you
somebody. I saw
gorgeous
that one
angel, you came
person.
back to us.
Thank the Lord for Ravi this week. I mean, completely. And I'm glad. I'm glad he came back. I've always really enjoyed him, even though I forgot he even like left and then he came back and I was like, oh hey, I forgot about you. Isn't that horrible?
I like him on this more than the other show he was on. Oh my gosh, what else did we watch him on?
I didn't know he was in anything else. Do I?
Yes, he was on Never something. Never Have I Ever, right?
Oh, was he?
Never.
No, he was not in Denver.
He wasn't. Who am I thinking of?
I don't know. Yes, he has.
Yes,
He
he
was in Never
was.
Have
He
I
was
Ever.
Des. I knew it.
Yeah, he was. He was Des. You're right. Why was that not
See,
on the
Tiffany
thing that I
doesn't look
just
bad now.
watched? No, now I see it. Now that I see him with a little poster. Now I recognize him.
I just remember us talking about him being on another one of our shows that we watched.
It's seriously, where was I just on? And it was just like, nope. Just like the Google movies and TV shows. You think that would have been on there?
Yeah.
I mean, Birthday Card is on here, and not Never Have I Ever. That's weird. That would have been totally funny though if he hadn't. I was really laughing at you. All right, so yes, he has been on Never Have I Ever. Ravi has.
I like him much better on this one as Ravi.
I like Des too, but I do agree with you. I like him better as Ravi.
I like how Maddie enlisted the help of all the local construction workers to try and get the big box truck off of
Oh
Athena
yeah,
and Bobby.
that was
That
really
was really
smart of
smart.
her. Really, the stress that she was under at that time, and she thought about that.
Right?
Like she's just a superhero. But thankfully, everybody got out all right, and it was a group effort, absolutely. But when Chim was hanging from that ambulance, I about like lost it. I was standing up, going, no, 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 no.
Like, nope, not Chim.
I was
You
like, no,
cannot take
you
Chim.
can't take Chim like right after they get married. Like,
Nope.
you can't do that. That's bad. But they didn't. Everybody was okay, thankfully. And
I like how
then
they showed him walking around the firehouse, just continuing to look at the giant rock in his hand. That's so funny.
It was awesome. I enjoyed this like fast-paced episode. Now that I know nobody got hurt and everybody's okay, like I enjoyed the episode. It gave me a lot of anxiety at first because I was just sure somebody was going to get killed.
Right?
I had
Yeah.
convinced myself
Mm-hmm.
like this is it. So, but and of course, after everything and everybody's okay, then Buck gets home and Cameron's in labor. How like okay, this was very unrealistic to me
Oh yeah.
because she like just felt the pain and it's her first baby, so first labor, which is usually a lot longer. I know it can happen. I mean, nothing is impossible with labor. It's always a huge mystery, but
She got to 9 centimeters without any pain.
yeah, like, oh, I just had a contraction. Oh, you're 9 centimeters. Like it's it was very I guess world's luckiest woman. I don't know. And she had Buck deliver her baby. Like, shut up.
And luckily, Talia happens to get there just in time for the baby to be delivered.
Can you imagine being in her shoes? Like, I couldn't
And
even.
then she stuck around. I'm like, well, I really like this girl.
I really, really, really do love her for Buck.
Mhm.
I really do. I'm kind of in love with it. Even though I really wanted him with Lucy, I think I like Natalia better.
I do.
And that I didn't think
really
I would
do.
think that, but I really do like their chemistry. So I think she'll stick around. But can we also talk about the way Buck looked at that baby?
Mhm.
I mean,
I
obviously he's
think we're
gonna have
gonna
some
need a daddy
feelings.
buck soon.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, not too soon. He's not ready. He's not ready. If he had to, he would be a great dad. But I think he needs at least a year or two with somebody and to settle down, not jump straight into a baby.
The weird meditation on the roof. I didn't like that.
No?
No. I just thought it was weird.
I
It just isn't them. I don't know.
think they were just trying to be more zen.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I
Chicago
liked it. It
Chicago
just
did it last
didn't
week.
feel like them. They did?
Yeah, they did. Chicago Herman had like a whole his wife Cindy had to get him to meditate. So it was funny that 911 did it this week and maybe bounce back and be like, or was it maybe 2 weeks ago? I don't know. It was 1 or 2 weeks ago that it was on Chicago Fire. And so when they did it here, it kind of made me giggle a little bit. And that's probably why I enjoyed it more than you. You don't watch Chicago. You don't watch Chicago. Yeah, you're a loser. So Maddie and Shem are finally planning the wedding. We're just going to skip over.
I actually like that they were planning to do the wedding at their house.
I do too. I think this is a
Cute.
great idea. Like, and that means it's going to be small, intimate. It'll be nice. I'm excited for it. And my man Eddie setting up this date with Marisol.
That photo was so cute.
Freaking cute together. Like,
They're
get
both so
me.
nervous.
Oh my gosh. And Christopher's. I love this kid, man.
Christopher's so funny.
I was like, is he planning all of this?
He's probably like, how did I get here if you were this bad at talking to women, Dad?
Honestly, last week, whenever like Christopher was like do on his computer and Eddie was like meeting these girls, I was like, is Christopher like have Eddie someone like some like dating site? That was my first thought because they would show Christopher not showing his screen, but show him on the computer, and then they would show like Eddie like smiling at a girl. And I was like, what? So that was my thoughts from last week. But it was kind of so it just reminded me of it today. Not today. This Monday. Monday? Yeah, Monday. Also, Hen and Karen, they're getting a baby. I'm so excited. I'm so
I agree with
excited.
Karen. I thought for sure that was never going to happen. I just kind of thought they'd completely drop that whole
I
trying
know.
to get a baby
I
thing.
actually forgot about it. Like it took me a second to remember what had happened in the past, and I was like, oh. So I got super excited.
The Bobby and Athena are taking a cruise.
I love it. They both
They both need time away. They
Mhm.
deserve it.
Absolutely, they deserve it. And then we just have Natalia helping Buck pick out a new couch because there's baby juices on it.
Poor Buck, and he just got that couch.
I know. It made me laugh though. I love they're
Maybe
sitting there
he
trying
should
to
just
clean
get some
it.
chairs. Nah.
Buck has had to sleep
nuh-uh.
on that couch many a night, so I think he needs a couch. He just needs to put some bed in there. Just a full bed.
Right? He
Right
really
in
does.
it.
Yeah.
If you come over and want somewhere to sit on the bed. Let's all sit in a circle Indian style. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want that couch after that.
No. I don't know. Just flip the cushions over. Your face right now.
Just ignore all the baby juice on the other side.
They
Okay.
steam cleaned it. It's good enough. Flip it over.
Okay.
Totally joking. I'm not that gross. I would totally throw the couch out.
Oh, look, there's some leftover placenta.
Hope not. Oh my gosh. All right. I think
So-
that's like pretty much all of 911. It was just a whole mainly dedicated to the rescue at the beginning. So it really wasn't too much to talk about, but it was a great season finale. Loved it. 10 out of 10. Wouldn't do anything different. I thought it was perfect. But now we're going to move on to Lone Star, where I had a little bit more issues. First off, let's just go into it. Wyatt. What? What? What?
I don't understand why they did this to him.
Why did they do this to him? Why did Judd quit his job to take care of Wyatt when he has no business taking care of Wyatt? I'm sorry. I think it's super sweet that he offer, but it's just very un-Judd like. And I don't know. The whole storyline just really confused me. I don't, unless they're gonna write Judd out of the show, I don't know why they would do this. Like it worried me a little bit. So I don't
Yeah,
know where they're gonna go with this.
I honestly don't know. I don't understand what they're doing.
Maybe they're gonna make it like he's gonna train Wyatt back up, but he's like full on gonna retire.
Yeah.
So
And
like
it
once you
looks
do
like-
that, can you come back? I mean, I guess
I
you
don't know.
could, but I don't.
Yeah.
I think he just like pulled the trigger on this way too fast.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
maybe
just
take
feeling
some
too
furlough
guilty about
time
all the
and
time he missed.
but why? I get it. I do. I get it. But he shouldn't. And I think as we can already tell, I don't know how well this is gonna go. He's just like the last person I thought would be his day-to-day caretaker. It was a very odd selection for me. I'm assuming they're going somewhere with this.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming this is just like a first step to the story, and we're gonna grow up this, and maybe Jed will be back. That's my hope.
But I don't know what's gonna happen with Wyatt because he doesn't seem like he's
His wife,
doing so great.
or girlfriend, fiance, whatever. Why is she not taking care of him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or an in-home nurse? Like
Anybody who
something?
knows what they're doing?
Yeah, it's odd to me. I don't really like this. This wasn't my favorite. Like I said, if they're setting it up for something, whatever, I'm all here for it. But if this is how we're just gonna leave Judd, I think this is very poor planning. So I guess we'll have to see. I mean, of course I'm still watching. Wouldn't miss it, but I wasn't very happy with this decision.
No. I don't think Grace was too happy with it either.
I don't know. And that kind of bothered me too. If he was just like,
Neither is Wyatt,
doing this.
honestly.
Like he didn't talk to anybody. He's just, I am doing this. I decided. It's like, this is a huge decision to quit, retire your job, stay home all the time, be a full-time caretaker of your adult son. Like should be a family discussion, and it wasn't. And I think that's what bothered me the most. And then Robert's not doing very well. Owen's brother. It's obviously going to be close to the end for him. And he said he wants Owen's help. Hated this storyline.
Yeah.
This was so messed up. Somebody you just met, okay, your brother, whatever. That's not something you ask somebody to do. Because now, Robert's dead. He has no feelings about it. Owen's got to live with this for the rest of his life. Like, that's not okay to ask somebody. No. Really, somebody you like just met. I know everybody got super sad about this episode. I did not get sad in this episode. I did not tear up. I had no sad feelings for this episode whatsoever. I got a little upset about Carlos's dad, but he wasn't really a main character, so it was just like a whatever. And then you had Robert, who died, who've only met a few times, and then I changed my mind about him because he asked Owen to do this for him, and I feel like it's not the fact that he wanted to end it. I understand. Whatever, that is his freaking decision. I did not think it was fair for him to ask Owen to do this when Owen recently has been through so much. I don't feel like mentally that was okay or fair for him to ask Owen to do. And it just scares me later on if Owen's going to have any bad feelings about it later, if it's going to trigger him or anything like that. Like, what's it going to do for him in the future? That's what I'm worried about.
I know.
So, I don't know.
Does Huntington's really come on as fast as they made it seem? I didn't think so.
I thought it took a lot longer, but honestly, I
did
don't
too.
know a whole lot about it. But it seemed like it came on pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, again, a little odd. But him at the wedding dancing with his wife and his daughters, and then just killing him was a little bit evil, in my opinion. But to top it off, my main concern was making Owen do it. So it was just messed up.
Yeah, Owen shouldn't have had to do that. I mean, he didn't know him well enough for that.
I mean, I don't know who I would ask, but I don't think it'd be my newly found brother.
No, no.
You know what I mean? I think he asked because he's like, you're a first responder, you're like, you know what to do. I think he's more like you're desensitized to this stuff more than other people are. And that's why I don't
Okay,
want to
that
come
makes
across.
sense.
I understand where Robert was coming from, and I don't blame him. But I don't think it was fair for him to ask Owen either.
No.
So I'm gonna blame this on Robert. Rest in peace, Robert. I actually really do like the actor who played him, and I'm kind of sad he was only around for a little bit.
No, it was so nice to see Rob and Chad together.
I
I was
know.
really hoping he would stick around.
I was too. Oh well, I guess that's what we get for liking somebody. But let's talk about our main storyline through these 2 episodes. We have TK and Carlos. There are stars in these final 2 episodes of the series of the season. Series finale. Why do I keep doing that? Well,
I
you
know,
did it
right?
first.
That's what I did when we opened.
You did it first. Now I'm doing it.
My bad.
No, it's not over. So Carlos went a little off the rails.
Little.
I'll put it
Yeah.
nicely. I'll put it nicely. He went off the rails. This
Yeah.
poor undercover guy was about to see his maker. I thought I was getting super nervous. I was like,
I thought for sure
please.
he was gonna shoot him.
I did too. And I was like, please do not do this to Carlos and TK. Please do not do this to Carlos and TK. Like, you guys will ruin this. We already told you we would riot if we did not get a wedding. Do not do. I was so nervous. My heart
Well,
was beating.
we got our wedding,
we
but
got our wedding.
this
What are you
was just this was not what I was expecting.
No. And I mean, that door opened and Gabriel gets shot, and you're just, my mouth did drop open, and I did jump. I was like, holy. And
Oh
you
yeah,
could
I
tell
said
where
some
he got
words.
hit. I knew he was instantly dead. Like, they made that very obvious of where they shot him, that was a fatal wound.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't expect it. I wasn't too sad
Mm-mm.
because he's not like a super main character. And I think
We're sad for Carlos. Because
okay, so I
he
don't
really
wanna
looked
say,
heartbroken.
I know. I don't want to say I wasn't like sad. I, from all the hype on this episode, and I had watched like the next day, and there was articles I was like missing. Like, I kept seeing names popping up, and I'm like, I gotta stay away. I gotta stay away. I don't want any spoilers. But there was so much on the news and stuff, and I was like, holy crap, this has to be like a big character who dies, because everybody's making a huge hype out of it. And so when it was Gabriel, I kept waiting for somebody else to die the whole time, because I was like, it's got to be somebody like bigger, like not just Gabriel. It's got to be like one of the main characters. I was convinced of it. And so I think that's what a little bit happened to me. Was I wasn't upset because I kept thinking I was going to be somebody else I'm going to need to be upset for later on. So it just kept going. And then again, end credits came up, and I was going, oh, okay, I'm safe. Cool. I like text my niece. I was like, what are you talking about? Why did you cry for 2 hours? That was nothing. She's like, you're such a
Last week made me
monster.
cry a lot more than this week. Actually, I don't think I cried at all this week.
Okay, good. You're stone faced like me.
Last week I was the ball baby. Yeah.
Remind me of
No.
last week. Did I cry? Why'd you cry last
the
week?
the woman who lost her husband to the terminal brain cancer, and they did the flashback of their years together.
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah.
I didn't cry, but that was sad.
Oh, I was a friggin' ball baby sitting there.
It was sad. I didn't cry, but it was sad. I will totally give you that. So it was also really cute of Carlos having lunch with his mom to get him and Gabriel to make up. I am so glad they made up before he got killed, because I could only imagine Carlos if he had not made up with his dad
Like, this is
before
how
he got
bad
killed.
he was after he made up with his dad. Can you
Yeah,
imagine not? Oh, yeah, no.
that thought went through my mind several times, and I was like, holy moly, thank goodness they made up. Like that would have been so. I don't think we would have had a wedding.
No.
We would not have had a wedding if they had gone that way, and I'm so glad that they did.
Well, I thought for a little while we weren't going to have a wedding after Carlos wanted to postpone it. Like, no. Oh, poor TK. No.
Anybody else super annoyed that they're like calling everybody and telling them they're canceled and they did the wedding anyways? And I'm like, oh, then they have to call those people back and be like, psych.
My first thought when Carlos went to TK and said that he wanted to do the wedding again was, oh, TK, don't slap him. Don't slap him. I'm like, he's gonna be so mad.
He was so stressed out trying to cancel everything. Poor Owen took over, which that was probably the best thing that could have happened, but now I think they probably just had Owen call everybody back. So that was a little insane. The wedding was so beautiful. I mean, so beautiful. Paul doing the ceremony, I loved it. It was such a good touch. And with Owen being TK's best man, I loved it. Really was like a beautiful ceremony where
I'm
they had it set up.
confused why they had like a little cameo of TK's mom, but they didn't do one of Gabriel, who just died.
Probably because he just died. And they maybe she wanted to make a cameo. I don't know.
It was nice to see her though. I
It
didn't think we'd ever
was.
see her again.
It was. I thought he was losing his mind though. I got a little scared.
Yeah.
That's Grey's Anatomy that puts that fear into me. I'm like, oh no, he's seeing a ghost. That's a brain tumor. Here we go. That's what's wrong now.
I like that Owen trusts O'Brien enough now to like call him when he needs help.
I
He's
really
got a nice
did.
little friend.
I really enjoy their on again, off again relationship.
Mm-hmm. They're so
They're
funny together.
they're hilarious together because I feel like they're a lot alike.
Yeah.
They're a lot alike. And I don't think they realize it or like it, but they know they work well together. And I think now they know they can actually trust each other. They might not have to love each other, but they have a respect and a trust for each other now, which is super important. And I enjoyed it.
I was a little concerned at first when Carlos found that false bottom
Oh,
and there
yeah.
was tapes under there.
Yeah.
Why is it hiding tapes?
I was like, oh my God, how are you going to watch VHSs?
Right?
I would be totally out of luck.
When TK walked in the room, what's that? Really? Come on,
What is
TK.
that? It's a DVD player. It's a VHS. Why are you watching a VHS?
Don't forget to rewind.
Oh my gosh. But poor Carlos, man. I felt so bad for him through this. I don't know how many days he stayed awake. He was getting super worrisome. I really thought he was going to kill that guy.
Oh yeah, he was
I
looking
really
rough.
did.
He had like crazy all over his face.
With his hair foofy right now. Oh my gosh. Talk about he can keep that hair, by the way, because he's looking really good. Second of all, it made him seem a little bit more deranged. I'm going to use the word deranged because that's what I feel like his eyes were at that time. And it was like when he heard Owen's voice, he just immediately snapped out of it and looked at him. And that was so like touching that he has that much respect for Owen that his voice will pull him out of that state that he was in where he wasn't listening to anybody. So it was really sweet and a nice touch on the director's part.
You didn't really give us, neither show gave us anything leading into next year.
No. I'm
No
wondering if that's
cliffhangers or anything.
we gotta realize we're about almost done talking about all this, but we gotta realize that the writer's strike is going on. And even though these shows have all been renewed, they are not safe when there is a writer's strike going on. We can still have things canceled. So I think that they ended it like this in case. A lot of shows ended this season with not a cliffhanger. And I really think that's because everybody is terrified of the writer's strike right now, which
that makes sense.
I'm totally on the writer's side. Woohoo. I will protest in theory with you guys.
I love seeing all the actors out there with them.
I know. I love the support. Keep going, get what you need, and then please come back to us. Please. Because the last one lasted for like 3 months, and they said this one will be lasting for much longer, they suspect.
Oh, jeez.
So, I mean, people are saying 9 months, 1 year. Like, they're thinking this is going to be so super serious. So that's why I think a lot of these shows have tried to really cover their butts and ended them in a way that in case they are canceled, it's at least tied up in a certain way. 911, then we got to kind of see a little bit of their futures, that they were all doing well. Lone Star, everything kind of got tidied up. A lot of our shows very tied up at the end. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've noticed or if anybody else has noticed, but I've been watching some super. Grey's Anatomy had just ended and I have not watched it. I cannot watch it till tomorrow. And that was also the season finale. So that one's going to be interesting too.
Is there going to be another season?
Mm-hmm. It's so good this season. It's almost like season 1. So good. There's none of the magic team there anymore. Meredith's gone, Alex is gone, Izzy's gone, George is gone, Yang's gone. They're all gone.
So it's just like a whole different show. The characters are new.
Miranda's still there. Teddy's still there. Owen's still there. Richard's still there. Boki's still there. I mean, we still have like some of them. Addison still comes on from time to time. So we still have Amelia. Like we still have like recurring characters, but there's all new interns and they spell out magic too, which is
How do you have Grey's Anatomy without Grey?
The hospital's named Grey Sloan. So technically it's okay.
Did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the hospital's named Grey Sloan now. After her sister, not Meredith, after her sister Lexi. So I think that's how they can get away with it.
Did she die?
Oh no. And also Meredith, Ellen Pompeo.
Don't make me watch 18 seasons to find out.
You better. It's an amazing show. I'm just saying. Skip 17. You can skip one. It's okay. That one sucked. Ellen Pompeo is still narrating it. So you still hear her voice the whole show. She's just not in it. She was actually in tonight's though. She'll pop in and out. She's still like producing it too and stuff. She's in the back scenes now. And there's a whole new showrunner. I don't think 20 will be the last. I think it's going to keep going. And honestly, I'm okay with it. If it keeps going like this, I am okay with it. And I will continue to. I did not waste 2 decades of my life to quit now. Okay, there goes my Grey's rant. Has to be one every podcast. So, but sadly, we don't even know who killed Gabriel. Like we don't get any answers. I'm hoping we get to see. I'm actually hoping he goes off to be either a detective or a ranger, one or the other.
I think he's going to be a ranger now.
You think ranger? I can't tell if ranger or detective, because his dad was kind of pushing him to be a detective or a ranger, and if he's a ranger, then he's not going to be really in the show very much. Realize that.
True. I don't like that.
Yeah, so if he goes to be a detective, technically he can still be in the show a lot.
True.
So I
Do
am
that,
voting
regardless.
detective. So I mean, I feel like Texas Rangers got to travel like around Texas, I would assume. So that means he would be gone a lot. That's just kind
Probably.
of what I'm assuming throughout it. But so that's why my vote is 100% detective. And I can't wait till next season to find out what he chooses because I know he's going to choose something. After all this, he's going to be like, this is a sign.
I have a feeling he's going to solve the murder next season.
I think so. I think I don't know if he will solve it or if he will help in solving it. I hope he helps in solving it and doesn't go rogue again. And I mean that didn't turn out very well. Poor undercover guy almost got shot with deranged Carlos. Holy moly, that lizard would lose a dad. So sad. So
Did they ever find him?
oh no. I think they did because TK was feeding it the other day.
Oh, that's right. That's right, he was. I do remember that.
So they have him back. I'm hoping, or that he's just feeding an empty cage. I don't know.
That is just feeding the cage.
Maybe it'll come back if I just put some food in here every day. So one other thing we really have to touch on, and I think we're about talked out of the shows, but Tommy's singing so beautiful. Loved the song that they picked. It was so perfect, so meaningful. I adored it. I loved it. That was one thing I cannot complain about. It was awesome.
We even got to see Paul's girlfriend sitting there with him. I like that. We haven't really
I
seen
did
much of them actually
too.
together.
I know. And I kind of forgot about her a little bit.
Well,
Even
I didn't
when
realize until last episode that they were actually dating.
I
Because they
know, I
hadn't
don't think
really
I did
said that.
either. And also Lindsay was there too, which
Yeah.
she hadn't been, or what's her name? Kendra.
Kendra.
Kendra. I called her Lindsay. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
That woman will never be anything but Lindsay.
Oh, that's One Tree Hill for anybody that doesn't know. She was on One Tree Hill as Lindsay. Kendra, though, I like her on 911. I really like her with Owen. So I hope we get to see her more next season. I hope she kind of gets to stick around. Maybe not every episode, I understand, but in and out, I'm totally here for it. I like it. I like Owen having somebody.
I'm just wondering if we want Owen to be husband number 3.
I think they should just take it slow. let's just take it slow. We don't need to rush anything right now. But I do like her. I'm totally here for it. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for tonight, right? Do we miss anything?
No.
We've talked all about 911, 911 Lone Star. Do not forget to check out our socials and Facebook group, 911 Family Fan Club. Tune in next week for more episodes. Sundays are our Fox nights where we talk about what we talked about tonight, 911s. Tuesday is our NBC nights where we discuss all the 3 Chicago shows. And Wednesday nights are ABC nights where we talk about Grey's Anatomy and Station 19. When our shows are off syndication, we are probably going to be doing a lot more Netflix shows and other shows that we do cover in our groups. So that will be a lot of fun. We'll be getting maybe some more interviews, some more celebrity interviews soon. And do not forget to subscribe, and we will see you real soon. Bye.
Loving our content? Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to share our podcast with your family and friends. We want to continue the conversation with you. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok under Fandom Family Chats, or one of our ever-growing Facebook groups by searching Family Fan Club. We've also launched a website, Family Fan Club 2021 at wixsite.com. You can email us there and keep checking it for announcements and merch coming soon. And of course, be sure to tune in every week for new episodes discussing all your favorite shows.